At this point, we've created a couple of Firebase functions that enable us to get the past posts of a user that we want to follow, as well as delete those posts if we unfollow them. Now we're going to take a side step and see how to add the last bit of CRUD functionality to our posts. So we have the ability to create, read, update, and now we're going to see how to delete posts that we've created. And to do that, we'll head to our post.dart widget in our widgets folder, and we'll head up to the build post header function. And for the list tile that we're returning from this, for the trailing widget, we have an icon button where currently if we press it, we just get a print line, but we want the ability to delete a post. And what's going to happen when a user presses on this button is we want to display a modal, a very simple modal, that confirms for the user whether they want to remove this post or not. So if they do, they'll just press the delete option. If not, if they just want to close the modal and not delete it, they'll hit cancel. And this is going to directly lead into the next set of Firebase functions that we'll be creating for when a post is created, along with updated and deleted. And that's to keep our timeline posts in sync with any changes that are made to a given post from anywhere within the app. So we'll begin by changing the onPressed, changing the function that we execute to be handle delete post, and to this we want to pass in context. We need to pass in context to display this simple dialog. So let's create this function. And similar to the dialog, or the function that wrapped the dialog that we were showing for our upload page, we're going to pass in this context, this build context, as parent context in order to return show dialog, because show dialog accepts a context of a parent context, and we get our own another context within the builder function here. And from this builder, we'll return a simple dialog widget, the title set to a text widget with the text remove this post ? And then for its children, we'll first have a simple dialog option where its child will be a text widget with the text delete, and we'll set the style on it to make the color red. And then for the next simple dialog option, we'll set the text just to cancel, and we won't have any set styles for that. So if this cancel option is pressed, we'll set its onPressed to, in the return, navigator.pop to close the dialog. Otherwise, for the first option, delete, they confirm the deletion. We're going to create an inline arrow function where first we'll call navigator.pop to close it, and then we'll call a new function that will take care of deleting our post with the same name. So let's make that. And first of all, we need to take a quick step back. For a user to be able to delete a post, they need to be the post owner. So we need to add a conditional for the trailing widget. Specifically, in front of the icon button, we need to first check to see if the current user is the post owner. So we'll create a value called isPostOwner, and we'll compare the current user ID with the owner ID of the post and see if they're equal. If they are, we'll put the result in a variable called isPostOwner. So if that's the case, if the creator of the post is the same as our current user, we will give them permission to delete it, and they'll see this icon button. Otherwise, we need to remove it, and we can do that just by creating a text widget with an empty string inside. So now, if we head down to delete post, we're only going to be executing this if we have permission to do so. And just as a note, so you're not confused, to delete a post, owner ID and current user ID must be equal, so they can be used interchangeably. So don't be confused. This is something that confused me a little bit when I was creating it. So first we want to delete the post itself. We need to delete the post data related to the post in the post collection in Firestore. Okay, so we'll grab the post ref, and the document will be related to the owner of it. So we'll use the owner ID dot collection user post, and the document we'll get from providing the post ID, and then we can call delete, but again, better to get it and say then take the document if it exists, and only in that case call doc.reference.delete. Then we want to delete the uploaded image for the post. So here we're going to need to access our storage ref, and remember that when we were creating an image we added a child path, and the child path was post underscore post ID dot JPEG. So by using this post ID, we're going to be able to select that exact image that was created for the post, and then we need to call at the end delete. Then we want to delete all activity feed notifications. So here we'll take the activity feed ref, document, again linked to the owner ID, collection, feed items, and we want to delete those posts where the post ID is equal to the post ID. And here at the end we'll call get documents, and we want to delete each individual document, and to do so we'll create an activity feed snapshot that is of type query snapshot, and we'll make sure to await this request and make delete post an async function. Then we'll take the activity feed snapshot dot documents for each, and for each document we'll delete it, again checking to see if it exists and then deleting it. Then finally we want to delete all comments. So to get all of our comments related to a post, we can say comments ref, the document of the post ID, collection comments, and get documents. We'll await this and put the result in a comments snapshot. And then say the exact same thing. Take comment snapshot.documents for each, and then delete every document. So that was a lot of steps, but to just review, when we need to delete a post, we're first checking to see that we have permission to do so, that the person who created the post is the same as the current user that we have trying to delete it. We take the post ref, find the user, get the individual post. If it exists, we delete it. We delete the related image according to its post ID. We delete all notifications in our activity feed, and we find all those related notifications because we're setting post ID, that value on each of them. And then we go through and delete all the comments that are connected with a given post ID. So let's save, and we'll do a hot restart. And I'm going to try deleting a post that I created earlier. We see it has a like, a few comments here, and I received one notification for it. So if I first take a look at my database, I'll find my current user ID It ends in 72. So I have my post here, linked to my user ID. That should go away. My feed should go away, and any feed items, and then all of the comments, all 3 of those comments should go away. So let's try deleting this post. So when we tap on the trailing icon button, we see our modal. We can cancel it, but now we'll delete it. If we go back, we now have no posts. And if we take a look at the database, I'll refresh, and the feed was removed, the comments were removed, and we just have one post remaining that was created by our other user.